I'm your host, and today we're diving into a fascinating conversation about Arsenal's transformation this season. We're going to break down the impact of the new signings, the tactical shifts we're seeing on the pitch, and why this team now looks so explosive and almost unstoppable going forward. Many people often say football is all about tactics. When things go wrong, it's blamed on tactics. When things go right, it's credited to tactics. But the truth is more complex. Yes, systems and shapes give a team its identity, but more often than not, the defining factor is the players themselves, their profiles, their attributes, and the way they execute within that system. This season, Arsenal have introduced three very distinct and very exciting profiles into the squad: Eberechi Eze, Viktor Gyökeres, and Noni Madueke. These players have completely altered the dynamic of Arsenal's attack. Suddenly, the team looks electric, unpredictable, and full of purpose. For too long, Arsenal played a little too safe, with a heavy reliance on ball-to-feet players who often slowed down the tempo. But these new arrivals have added raw pace, directness, and aggression, which has made the attack vibrant in a way we've missed for years. Another huge addition has been Martin Zubimendi. What stands out about him is his urgency. Every pass, every movement, and every touch has intent. He doesn't waste time playing sideways or backwards passes unless absolutely necessary. His instinct is to push the team forward, and that has already made a difference. His brace against Nottingham Forest got all the headlines, but what truly impressed was his overall performance: tenacious, aggressive, and relentless in his execution. However, the front three of Eze, Gyökeres, and Madueke are the ones really setting the tone for this new-look Arsenal. Let's talk about Madueke for a moment. His display against Forest was phenomenal, even if he didn't win the Man of the Match award. Statistically, he dominated every attacking metric. He registered the most crosses, the most touches in the opposition box, the most duels won, the most chances created, the most take-ons, and even the most fouls won. Those numbers perfectly describe his profile: tenacious, powerful, tricky, and an absolute nightmare for defenders in one-on-one situations. Time and time again, he sized up his marker, took them on, and forced Forest to retreat. That early moment in the 13th minute where Arsenal moved the ball rapidly across the pitch before isolating Madueke one-on-one was a perfect example. Fast, purposeful passing from Calafiori to Musa, to Odegaard, to Timber, and then straight out wide to Madueke allowed him to beat his man and deliver into the box. The cross didn't connect, but the intent and execution were crystal clear. That intent has been missing in the past, with fans often complaining that Mikel Arteta restricts his wingers. What we saw against Forest, however, was different. We saw speed, risk-taking, and bravery in decision-making. We saw wingers going directly at defenders instead of recycling possession endlessly. And that theme continued throughout the game. Eze's confidence in taking shots from distance, Gyökeres' movement and hold-up play, Madueke's fearless dribbling, and Zubimendi's quick ball progression all worked in harmony to create an attack that was relentless. Arsenal flooded the penalty area with 4 and sometimes 5 players at a time. We saw Gyökeres crashing the near post, Eze pulling defenders out of position, Madueke attacking from the far side, and even Odegaard and Mourinho timing late runs into the box. That kind of aggression in numbers is something Arsenal fans have been begging for. Too often in the past, the build-up has been slow, the movement too static, and the attack overly predictable. But now, thanks to these new profiles, Arsenal are playing with energy, unpredictability, and most importantly, ruthlessness. And it's not just about the attacking flair. The system behind it is equally impressive. Arsenal are counter-pressing with incredible intensity. When they lose the ball, the midfield and defense immediately step up, winning possession high up the pitch and catching opponents unsettled. Timber, Calafiori, Zubimendi, and even Ethan Nwaneri were instrumental in this, snapping into tackles and transitioning the ball forward instantly. That aggression allowed Arsenal to create wave after wave of pressure against Forest, a team that is usually comfortable in a mid-block but had no answer to Arsenal's speed of play. It wasn't perfect, of course. Eze made some questionable decisions, choosing to shoot instead of crossing when multiple teammates were well-positioned, but honestly, that kind of boldness is refreshing. We want players to take risks, to try things, to force the issue. Football isn't won by playing it safe. It's won by taking chances. And Arsenal now have players who are not afraid to fail because they know the team has the defensive structure to win the ball back quickly. The standout goal from Gyökeres was a direct product of this approach. A quick diagonal from Calafiori, an intelligent run from Ease, and a perfectly timed cross meant that Gyökeres had the kind of chance strikers dream of, and he buried it. That's the type of direct play Arsenal have lacked, and it's exactly why Gyökeres was brought in. This game against Forest highlighted not only Arsenal's tactical flexibility, but also the importance of player profiles. Arteta may be tweaking his tactics, but it's the quality, intent, and mentality of these new signings that are transforming Arsenal. When you combine risk-taking wingers, a creative powerhouse like Ease, a lethal finisher like Gyökeres, and a midfield general like Zubimendi, you get a team that doesn't just control games, but dominates them. The result was a commanding 3-0 win, but honestly, it could have been 5 or 6 if Arsenal had been more clinical. The performance was that dominant. And that's the point. Tactics matter, but players win games. When we talk about Liverpool, we talk about Salah. When we talk about City, we talk about Haaland. And now, when people talk about Arsenal, the conversation is shifting to players like Saka, Ease, Gyökeres, and Madueke. These are the individuals making the difference. So, here's the question.